Football is back, baby. Texans, Ravens, week 1 of the 2023 NFL season. Here we are, baby. Here we are. And I've got the keys to victory. I got the keys for Texans beating the Ravens this Sunday. But before we get started, I have a quick thing that I need you to help me with. I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious. And I know the more likes we get on this video, the more likely the Texans are to beat the Ravens. I don't want you to jinx it. I don't want you to come back on Monday and the Texans lose and you be like, hey, all I could have done is like the video and the Texans would have won. I mean, come on. I don't want you to be that guy. Don't be that guy who didn't like the video and jinxed it and made the Texans lose. So go down and hit that like button right now if you want the Texans to beat the Ravens in week 1. As we get started with my keys to victory, I got the keys. Protect C.J. Stroud. That's going to be my number one key. That's going to be the biggest thing that I'm looking for the Texans in week 1. 2 huge injuries up front. Both of these players placed on short-term IR. Scruggs and Tytus Howard, they're going to be out for the first 4 weeks of the season. So, got a makeshift Texans offensive line. George Fant is going to step in at right tackle. Jarrett Patterson, the 6th-round rookie, going to step in at center. And Josh Jones, the guy that the Texans traded for, formerly a tackle, moving into left guard, he's going to start for the Texans up front. Just a whole mismatch of the Texans up front, the Texans offensive line depth chart. Should be interesting to see what happens. And C.J. Stroud, this guy right here, I think he is going to do wonders for this team. And I think if he gets the time, if the offensive line can hold up a little bit, the Ravens don't have one of the best pass rushers in the NFL, which is a good thing for the Houston Texans. But if they can keep this man upright, if they can get this man a little bit of time and let him cook, they'll have the whole crowd saying, C.J. Stroud, yeah. I think that'll happen. I think C.J. Stroud has a big game if the offensive line can keep his jersey clean, keep him upright. I expect big things out of C.J. in week 1. But I like to play games. I like to have a little fun, a little prediction time for you. How many touchdowns and how many interceptions do you think C.J. Stroud will throw against the Ravens? Do you think he's going to go 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions? 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions? 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions? What do you think? Predict it down in the comments for me. Let's have a little fun here. I'm going to be looking down there in the comment section. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. So, you get hit with the YouTube ad break. Perfect timing. Go down and get your predictions in. How many touchdowns and how many interceptions do you think Stroud throws in week 1? Number 2, I think, is going to be control the clock. You want to control the time of possession, have it on your side, and the way to do that, and also another way to help C.J. Stroud is get the running game going. This running back duo for the Texans needs to play well in week 1 if they want to have success and if they want to win this ball game. You can't put it all on the Rook. You can't put it all on C.J. Stroud. I think he's going to have a great game, but to help him along, to get some play action going, get the defense moving east and west, you got to have a good run game. And I think our version of Thunder and Lightning, they'll do just that this weekend. Devin Singletary and Dameon Pierce last season. Singletary, 819 rush yards, averaged 4.6 yards per carry, and 280 receiving yards. A great receiving option out of the backfield. And Dameon Pierce, 220 carries, 939 yards, in only 13 games played, 4.3 yards per carry. He is a bulldozer. Dameon Pierce, I want to see a huge second-year jump from this cat right here, and I know he can do it. I was getting goosebumps watching him run against the New Orleans Saints in that preseason game. He only played in a couple of drives, but he was running like a madman out there, like a man with his hair on fire. I want to see more Dameon Pierce. I want to see him running through Ravens defenders left and right on Sunday. I'm expecting a heavy dose of the run game, especially with offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick coming from the Shanahan tree, coming from that 49ers offensive style where they want to get the running backs involved heavy, get the stretch run going, get the runs going, so then you can get the play action and open stuff up deep for the wide receivers. Dameon Pierce, another huge key to victory for the Texans this weekend. Number 3, you got to contain Lamar Jackson. He was hurt last year. He got his contract. He's coming for a revenge tour this year, and you got to at least hold this man and make sure he doesn't run wild on you. I mean, the last 4 seasons for Lamar Jackson, last year, hurt, played 12 games. The year before, hurt, played 12 games. But I think is improving as a passer year by year. Last year, 17 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions, playing really well. But that's not really where he's going to kill you, right? Where you're worried is in the running game. Lamar Jackson, with only 12 games last year, was second amongst all quarterbacks in rushing yards. And he only played 12 games. Only behind Justin Fields, Lamar Jackson was in QB rushing yards. You got to make sure that you contain him. And DeMeco Ryans said in his press conference this week, we got to limit the big plays from Lamar Jackson, and we got to look at the second level of our defense and make sure that they are able to contain him. Don't let him get into the open field where he can make you miss, where he can, get extra yards and run and make people look silly out there in open space. You got to make sure you contain Lamar Jackson if you want a chance to upset the Ravens in week 1. So, my question to you, I would say to keep him under 75 yards would be containing this man. He's easily a 100-yard rusher every single game. But what do you think? Can the Texans do just that? Over or under 75 rushing yards for Lamar Jackson against the Texans on Sunday? If you think it's over, type O in the comment section. If you think it's under, type U. What do you think? I'm typing my U. I'm typing my U. I think the Texans, they'll contain Lamar Jackson. But what do you think? I'm going to be looking down in the comment section. Give me an O or give me a U. Next up, keys to victory. You got to play smart and limit turnovers. Obviously, turnovers are a huge thing, but you also got to play smart. You got to play the field position game a little bit as well. Make sure you're making good decisions. Pin them back deep when you can. Let your defense cook a little bit, but you got to play smart. The Texans last year, 28 turnovers to the Ravens 21. So not looking good in that department. And, it's always said, turnovers can win or lose you a game. And that's a fact. This is a stat fact coming in. You don't have to push that text. I'll just let them know. The team with the fewer turnovers wins about 75% of the time. 4 out of every 5 games, the team with the fewer turnovers usually wins. So that is a huge thing the Texans need to do. They need to limit the turnovers, and they need to make sure that they don't give the Ravens extra opportunities. Don't give them opportunities in, Texans field position to where they have a short field and are able to score easy. You got to limit those turnovers, especially with the rookie quarterback. I'm wondering how Bobby Slowick plays it as a play caller. If he just goes balls to the wall, lets C.J. Stroud throw it all over the field, or if it's a more conservative approach. I'm really interested to see how he runs this offense in week 1. And the last key to victory for Texans beating the Ravens, defense, play your assignment. You got to play your man. You got to do your job. DeMeco Ryans said, hey, if we need to win, or if we want to win this game, we got to play assignment football on the defensive side of the football, and I couldn't agree more. Especially with a quarterback that does a lot of read option, does a lot of RPO, you need to make sure you're on your assignment and doing your job. You can't try to, cover for other people. Make sure you're making a play for other guys. You got to do your job. If you're on Lamar Jackson, you got to look at him the whole way. Even if he has the ball in the running back's gut, you got to make sure that you have your eyes on number 8 and you're making sure he's not pulling and able to run. And he really singled out this second level of the defense, the linebacking core, which surprise starter Jake Hansen on the unofficial depth chart earlier this week. He's going to have a huge task at the Sam linebacker spot. Denzel Perryman showed me a lot in preseason and training camp. I'm expecting big things from the veteran middle linebacker. And Christian Harris coming into his own, second year out of Alabama, the athletic linebacker. I want to see if he's able to chase down Lamar Jackson and make sure to, set the edge, not let outside runs get past him. I really want to make sure that he's able to, stop the offense, stop the run game, and make sure everything is good to go. So, I want to know, like I said earlier, 75 rushing yards. Give me an O for over or a U for under down in the comment section. And if you made it this far in the video, you got to sub. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and throw your H's down in the comment section. H-Town, hold it down. It's game week, baby. Week 1, it's game week. Let's go, Texans. Here we go.